Ian at plot 52 in the shed. Now just a little tool update. Now I've been wanting to get some new tools for a while, and with a bit of research I've found some multi-headed tools, and they're you can sort of change them over. Now that's the spade and the trowel. You've got a small handle which you just press the end and the fork comes out, which I can't do that one-handed holding the camera. There you go. So that's what you do. So that just goes in there and it pushes in. Now that is the 6-inch short handle. They do one that's 15 inches long. I'm not quite sure whether that was the right thing to do, buy the short one, but it's really sturdy. I mean, it's got a 35-year guarantee. Now that's the sort of spade. It's really strong. See, it's had a little bit of use already. And one of my other sort of heads I've got is a rake. Now obviously that's a little bit mighty for a 6-inch, but it does actually go on there. Now they do smaller rakes as well, but they also do a long handle. This long handle, that has got a weed cutting tool. Now that is really useful. I will endeavour to give you a demonstration. Now that can sort of come off that long handle. They do a telescopic handle as well. Now this is a really useful tool. It's got a really sharp blade all the way around the edge, so you can sort of cut in, which is only a 1.5, so between rows you can get really close up to the onions, for instance, or the carrots, and I'm really pleased. Now it's called Wolf Garten. Now obviously it'd be nice if they gave me some free tools, but they know they won't. I think I need a few more thousand subscribers before that happens, but I just decided to start my own little collection of these. Now check them out online. I'm really sort of pleased with them. There's a really good cultivating tool which I think might be my next purchase, but I'm going to sort of replace the old tools. Say that's just the standard sort of handle. It's probably a little bit short for a rake, but you can get a hoe to go on the end, which is going to be I mean, my hoe's a little bit old. I've had them for years really, so I've got a decent spade and a decent fork, but just thought I would give you an update on these wonderful new tools. Okay, we've got strawberries growing well. That's where we picked a few strawberries. The spinaches are growing well, and the little gems good. The beetroots are coming along. The peas are starting to get a little flower, so relatively happy now. We're going to get something. Now in this back cold frame I've got some sweet potatoes, which is something that I've not grown before, so that's a little bit different. Put them in there to sort of gain a little bit of heat. They do like a bit of heat, so yeah, we've got the old cold frame there, so we've done that. Now that's what I trimmed off the plum tree, so we'll have a look at that in a minute. Now the onions growing really well. They will grow really well. We've had a bit of water, so they don't need watering. There are a few carrots and spring onions, and at the end we've got the turnips. I think I've called those parsnips. They are turnips. And there we've got the Swiss chard. We did have a bit of a feast with the caterpillars, but I think we've sort of fighting them off. And we've got the Swedes planted. Just planted those in on this end of the brassicas run, and we've got Savoy cabbages, brown cabbages and broccoli. The courgettes and the squashes are in, and the sunflowers, well, we did have a bit of wind damage, so I've sort of tied them up a little bit. So yeah, the one of the beans are all growing well. They're starting to go up the poles, which you can see from the windmill on the top. Supposed to stop the pigeons. That's actually really spinning today. It's pretty windy down here. Now that's the plum tree. That's had a good sort of tidy up. I took a bit of advice, and the idea is where the plums sort of start from there, any of that new growth, that can be cut off now. The plums are set, so you want to just leave that greenery that's been cut back, so that gives me a little bit area now. We've got sweet corns growing in the greenhouse, so that's, this area is all going to be sweet corns. Now French climbing beans at the back there, which are a bit extra. There the other French climbing beans. These are the sort of black ones. Now they're being a little bit slow. I don't know if it's because they're in the shade slightly, but yeah, they need something. Now there are signs of very early black fly on some of these runner beans, so we're going to have to get some spray and sort those out. Now the nasturtiums are popping up all over. I do quite like that. It's not going to hurt anyone. That will sort of all grow really well. I say it took a little while for those courgettes to sort of bed in, really. I hope that they're all going to be successful. And I did a semi rake up with the potatoes, just to sort of rake them up a little bit more. There's not really a lot of excess soil sort of left to sort of rake them up. I might give it another rake up, but unless I sort of dig between the trenches a bit deeper, I think that's as good as it's going to be, to be honest. Now, really nice rhubarb. I'm going to pick some of that later. Love my red hot pokers. Now these runner beans are the ones I put in last, which are actually going to be up the top of the poles. So maybe it was a good idea to keep them in the greenhouse that extra week when we had those strong winds. Now the nasturtiums are going crazy. The survival of the fittest down there. They're going to get cold. Now this plant, this is called a pencilman. I'm going to call it a pencilman. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right, but I will sort of double check. And my lupins are growing well. So we've got lots of blackberries here. Really good sort of show of blackberries. They're going to grow really well. Now these are my grapes. I thought I'd just come up here, give you a little bit of a. Now that looks like a decent bunch of grapes there. So I'm really sort of pleased about that. But the problem is they're growing on the outside of the fruit cage. Maybe it wasn't the best idea to put a grape in the fruit cage, as all the grapes are on the outside. But I did get some last year. So that's really good. Now I think we've got to tie in some of these stakes, some of these runner beans, and we've got lovely flowers on there, but they do need to be pulled back a little bit. So now that's the mystery fruit tree. I haven't got any fruit on that. That's in the fruit cage. It's been in the ground for about 3 months. Probably going to go in there and give it an extra water. Now the gooseberries are going well. I'll just have a little test. Ooh, a little bit softer. So another month. Now stinging nettles, it's a bit of a quandary. I believe they are helping the gooseberries. That is what I've read. Stinging nettles around gooseberries. If you get a few stinging nettles, just leave them. So that's what I'm going to do. Might just cut the tops off. So the rubbish is gone, the tip's open, so we've managed to clear that out, and a little bit of the I planted some flowers in here. We'll just see how it sort of comes. Can't remember what they were called. We've got poppies, and the other bag of seeds that I had blown away. I can't remember what they were called now. Oh, a little strawberry on there. In that little pot. Can't believe that's grown, but there we are. So, that's a quick tour of the allotment. Onwards and upwards. Like and subscribe. Give you another update in a couple of weeks.